I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be friends with benefits. I've got 4 emails that I'm going to go through with you today. But before we get into it, I have a quote that I wrote I want to share with you. And it says, exclusive relationships usually start out with a strong physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional connection. Two people who are physically attracted to one another start hanging out together and having fun. The sexual attraction starts to grow, which leads to physical sexual intimacy. The emotional and mental connection develops slowly over time, and I put slowly over time in big bold letters, as a deepening friendship that goes hand in hand with physical intimacy. Usually after about 2 months of hanging out, having fun, and hooking up without attachments or commitments, both people are seeing one another so much that love has started to blossom between them. The exclusive commitment is a feminine quality, comes naturally with time in big bold letters, and is best left to the woman to bring up when she feels so safe, comfortable, and in love that she does not want to see anyone else and wants to be exclusive. So let's get into the first guy's email. He says, "Hey Corey, I'm relatively new to your material, but what I really appreciate is what I have read and listened to so far. Last February, I struck up a conversation with a beautiful girl at the university library. We have numerous mutual friends, all of whom have wanted to get with her, and I used that common ground as my approach. We chatted on several occasions until one day she invited me to sit with her at her desk to study for the evening. I accepted, and we stayed together until the library closed. We exchanged numbers and met up the next evening. This time, after the library closed, she invited me back to her place on campus to continue studying if I wasn't done. I stayed over until 3 or 4 a.m. Nothing sexual happened, but the chemistry was obvious. This was the last day before spring break, and she returned home to the West Coast the next morning, but kept in contact throughout the entire week. At this time, she was in a long-term relationship, which she claimed was on thin ice, and she later told me this was because he was too clingy. See, women help you when they like you. She's saying, don't be clingy like my present boyfriend who I'm about to ditch, because otherwise I'll ditch you too. I too was in a relationship at this time, but knew it was going nowhere. I became quite infatuated with this girl, not a good idea, and couldn't take my mind off of her. That's why you should have other options. But I understand, sometimes you meet a girl and it's like, wow, damn, look at the ass on that chick, oh my god, look at the titties. Remember, there was an old song from the, who the hell was it? 2 Live Crew. Their song Banned in the USA. These guys had really edgy lyrics. This is back in the 90s, and there's some really funny ass songs. Just reminded me of that. Thought I'd share that with you. So he says, when she returned, I respected the relationship boundary and never made any sexual advances. Well, that's understandable. She's got a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend. And what's nice is that you're hanging out. I mean, you are developing a friendship, but obviously there's chemistry there and the attraction's there, but you're not making a move because neither one of you are really single. He says, one night I heard through the grapevine that she had broken up with her boyfriend and that a large group of our mutual friends were going out downtown. How convenient. I conveniently showed up at the club and she was delighted to see me. She immediately grabbed my hand and was all over me for half an hour or so, which culminated in us kissing. It's always nice. Obviously she digs you. And because you were in a non-hungry state, because after all you had a girlfriend, it made you more attractive in her eyes because, just like you said, all of your guy friends are wanting to get with her. I was over the moon. We chatted the next day and she claimed to not remember the kiss itself, but said something along the lines of, well, good thing I'm newly single, so I am not in any trouble. It's nice how she's revealing to you, hey, I'm single. Maybe you should do something about that. Women help you when they like you. We talked inconsistently for the next few weeks until I found out that she had gotten back together with her boyfriend. You should be hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, dude, making dates. Sounds like you were talking a little too much because you were, as you say, over the moon. Unless, of course, you were still with your girlfriend, which he didn't say anything about that. He says, I chalked it up to her not wanting to mess with her unstable boyfriend's emotions, and I went back to being friends with her. She constantly reassured me that she wasn't going to come back to school next year in a long-distance relationship. In other words, I'm going to finally ditch this dude over the summer, so I'll really be free. Soon thereafter, she flew back to the West Coast for the summer break. Throughout the summer, I made a point of never initiating contact with her. I mean, after all, she's with her boyfriend. Good approach. Good job. She would send me messages saying that she missed me, asking how I was, etc. And towards the end of summer, she texted me saying that she was coming in town with her mother over the weekend to look at a condo for next year and hoped that I would be there. That night, we got together, went to my friend's birthday, and she suggested that we go back to my apartment. When a woman suggests that, it means, I'm ready to have sex with you as long as you don't talk me out of it. Oh yeah, baby. When we got back, she initiated the makeout and then pushed me back into my bedroom. It's on. Hopefully. We got naked and I was about to do the deed until she stopped me, even though she was wet and ready to go. That's where the 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach comes in. See, what's happening is you're all completely naked and you're ready to go, and she's like, whoa. And that's why you gotta focus on her feeling safe and comfortable. And that's when you're naked. It's awesome. You just lay there and caress one another and talk. Hey, baby. And just get her to talk and open up, asking questions, lead the conversation. I mean, you're all over one another naturally at that point. And then 4 or 5 minutes later, you just start making out, and then you just roll over on top. And, of course, after you've slipped on the love glove, my friend, don't forget to wear the raincoat. We lay there naked as she wrapped her legs around me, and then I drove her home an hour or so later. Dude, come on, man. I thought I had her in the bag, given the huge emotional buildup and undeniable chemistry which led to us hooking up. You didn't actually hook up, dude. You almost hooked up. Combined with the fact that she's only hooked up with 4 or 5 guys her whole life with no shortage of male interest. Well, it's like you were right on the 1 fucking yard. Dude, you were on the goal line. And you fumbled the football right on the fucking goal line. She's there in your bed fucking naked with you. And the problem was, when she stopped you, you were just like, you just gave up. Instead of taking 1 step back, chilling out for 4 or 5 minutes, getting her to talk, caressing each other, you're both, it's like, dude, so close. Close, but no cigar. I was extremely excited for her return to school. I thought about her all day, every day, and we texted fairly frequently after we hooked up. Dude, you did not hook up. You kissed, and you fooled around a little bit. Hooking up means having sex. That means that's happening. But it didn't happen in this case. Mostly initiated by her, which I took as a sign of strong interest and that things were finally over between her and her boyfriend. But when a girl has a boyfriend, it's like you don't reach out or do anything. When she reaches out to you, assume she wants to see you, and make a date. In this particular case, I would let her do all the texting instead of doing any initiating on your part. It makes her work to get you. And besides, you got completely naked. You didn't do the deed, dude. So you had to fucking choke the chicken all by yourself later. Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating. When she returned, we hung out frequently, and one night, when I felt she was giving me all the signs, and given what had happened that summer, I made an attempt to make out with her. She turned her face to make me kiss her cheek. She was very playful about the whole thing, giggling as I petted her, making me think she was playing hard to get. I think what it was, she just knew you didn't really completely know what you were doing. And she's testing you and teasing you. So you say, what's the matter? You got bad breath? Did you eat some garlic or something? It's like, bring those beautiful lips over here and kiss me. Don't be such a prude. You're no fun. You're about as much fun as watching paint dry. I persisted, but with the same result. Later that week, we were supposed to get together, but she called me saying she couldn't come anymore because her ex had found out about her hooking up with a guy back home after they had broken up. Obviously, that other dude knew about taking one step back when he encountered resistance. She said he made her feel terrible about it, indicating to me that there was still a strong attachment between them. What real reason why she's telling you this is she's giving the excuses to you of why she didn't hook up with you and why she won't kiss you. And you're going, okay, I'll just be patient and wait. She is young and immature after all. Later that week, we went out and she acted extremely distant. She was flirting with other guys in front of me and giving me no attention whatsoever. That's why you should have other options, because at this point, you're all goo goo gaga over her and she can see that. And now she acts like she doesn't care. And that's why you should be talking with other women. Maybe you leave with a couple other women. Maybe you make out with them in front of her. That will change her fucking attitude. That'll fix her little fucking red wagon. I was visibly shaken. I asked to speak to her outside. Oh, they're going to have the talk. I'll talk about my feelings for you. I asked what the deal was between us, to which she said that she was previously curious and wanted to hook up with me, but that now she thought we were better as friends. I.e., I really thought you had your shit together, but then you just didn't seem to have the confidence I thought, so no punani for you. I felt flattened. She texted me the next day apologizing for the way she had dealt with the situation. I pretended like nothing was wrong. I would have said, I think you're great, but I'm just not interested in something platonic with you. I mean, we got completely naked, and then nothing happened. I'm not interested in just being your friend. That just doesn't work for me. But give me a call if you change your mind, because I think you're spectacular and sexy and ravishing and amazing. She then texted me later that week saying she was sad that she thought things were different between us. Not wanting to give up on it, I took her out to a concert. Oh, you were her chaperone to a concert. How nice. At the concert, she held my hand the entire time, and even canceled plans she had for us to meet her friends later in the night to go back to my house alone. At my house, I was massaging her sexually, and she was nibbling and kissing my fingers, but she wouldn't make out with me. Although I felt good about what happened, I was feeling confused about where we stood once more. Recently, I tried giving her space because I couldn't take the hot and cold treatment anymore. She did try. Yeah, I wouldn't make... When a girl says friendship, you gotta be very clear in your intent. Like, I'm not interested in that at all. I have no desire to be just friends with you. If you're only looking for something platonic with me, then, hey, it was nice meeting you. Give me a call if you change your mind. You have to be willing to walk away when things are not on your terms. I'll give you an example. Recently, I met a girl on Tinder. And me, I get right to the point, and I want to meet up for a glass of wine at a cool wine bar that I know of. And she responded back a day later, hey, why don't we talk on Facebook first? I'm not interested in talking on Facebook first. I want to meet up for a drink. So, you got to stand up for what you want. She did try to get my attention on numerous occasions, and later told me she thought I was ignoring her because she had said she just wanted to be friends, which I vehemently denied. In addition to all that, I was recently with her and noticed her boyfriend texting her incessantly, which leads me to believe they are still together despite her claiming she is single. Well, obviously in her mind, she is single. I know you've probably heard a million stories like this, but I have a really strong feelings for this girl. Cut that shit out, dude. And I think about her in unhealthy amounts. My question is, after this email, what do you think I should do? Give up on this girl romantically? Is there anything I can do to make her feel the same way as before? I don't think being friends is an option for me and would be a dishonest relationship at the moment. But is it the only way for her to change her mind long term? Well, stop calling her, stop texting her, because when you do that, when a girl says friends only, and you keep calling her and texting her, she thinks that you've acquiesced to that and you agree to that. But when you stop all forward movement and then she reaches out and she says, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. I was like, well, I want you, but I'm not interested in just being friends with you. I want to see you. I want to kiss you. I want to hold you. I want to touch you. I want to make love to you. But I'm not interested in all that platonic BS. So let me know if you ever change your mind, because I'd really love to see you. And then you just leave it at that. And then she reaches out to you again. Hey, great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Invite her over to your place. Don't take her out. Say, why don't you grab a bottle of wine and come on over to my place and we'll make dinner together. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. That's what you need to do. And if she says, no, I'd really like to meet out for drinks, blah, 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 she's already been back to your house. Remember, she pushed you into your bedroom, dude. So she's obviously comfortable with that. And if she's not interested in coming over, just say, you know what, it's been a long week. I'm just kind of in the mood to hang. So if you're not down with that, give me a call if you change your mind. You know, give me a call in a couple weeks and maybe I'll be more up to meeting you out somewhere and doing something like that. Do the takeaway. You got to stand up for yourself. You don't get what you deserve in life, only what you negotiate. And right now, you're being a shitty negotiator, my friend. So let's move on to the second email. Oh, and by the way, get yourself some other options. You're all hung up on this. She's just one girl, dude. You're at college. There's fucking beautiful girls everywhere. So let's get a second guy's email. He says, hey, Corey, about me, I'll have my final divorce decree this month. And I've been seeing this girl for about 3 months, and I'm crazy about her. She's just divorced for about 6 months. And I just completed reading your book, and I've watched several of your videos, and I've learned I've done a lot of needy crap, like try to force the boyfriend-girlfriend tag on our relationship, etc. Definitely a bad way to go. The dating labels, that's none of your fucking business. That's the woman's business. That is feminine energy. Feminine energy is about bonding, connection, opening up to receive love. Masculine energy is about breaking through barriers, achieving goals. Not about opening up to receive love. And so when a guy brings up the topic of exclusivity, where's this going, where do you see us, he's acting like a woman. That's why it always across the board will turn women off. Because if she's not bringing it up, it means she's not emotionally at the place where she's safe and comfortable and she wants to see you and only you and be exclusive with you. So until then, keep hanging out, having fun, and hook up. That's the man's job in the courtship. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Be direct, be decisive, make dates. Make the move at the appropriate time, just like I talk about in my book. At first she said she didn't want a serious relationship, and she says she still doesn't, but after about a month I did get her to agree, however, to hang out and have some fun and just date exclusively. You're trying to lock her down, dude. What that does is it causes a woman to feel like she's losing her freedom by being with you. She said, I'm not ready for a relationship. But like you insist on being exclusive. It's a bad way to go. It's needy behavior. You want her to try to win you. You want her to want to be exclusive with you. He says, so it's been about a month of exclusivity and we've been out a few times since. A whole 30 days and you only been out a few times. That usually means about 3. That should tell you a lot. And we're hanging out 3 or 4 times a week and having sex either at my place or her place more often than we go out. Well, that's good. Hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. That's okay. In the past week and a half, we've been staying over instead of going home when we go to one another's place. She's always saying that we need to go slow. She's helping you because she obviously digs you. I mean, she's still sleeping with you. That's a good thing. And that we can see each other and do all the things we do now but doesn't want to sleep over, spend the night, as she takes it as a sign that it's too serious or going way too fast in way of any feelings. Just let it happen. If she wants to stay over at your place, great. If she wants to leave that night, that's okay too. When she leaves, say, call me later. I had a great time. And that's it. Only call her once a week, and if you don't hear from her, call the following week and make a date. But if she reaches out to you in between that time, in other words, she doesn't wait a full week, and she reaches out, assume she wants to see you, make the next date. See, it's like you're in like the friends with benefits. You like hanging out, there's obviously sexual chemistry there, but it's not time for a relationship. Obviously you want a relationship, but that's how it evolves. Because you get together, and because sex is a small part of your relationship. Really small. When you think about 24 hours in a day, you may have sex for an hour. maybe 2 if you're having it several times. So I mean, think about it. Most of your time is spent enjoying your friendship with one another. Yeah, you're going to be touching, but the actual intimate sexual act is a fraction of the cumulative amount of time that you spend with somebody. She wants to be idle, keep it where it is, and let things happen naturally. See? She's confirming everything I'm teaching. She says there's some kind of wall up. In other words, what she's really saying is, I'm not, even though we're spending all this time together, I don't feel deeply connected and in love with you yet. But I should be. It feels like a relationship, but it doesn't feel emotionally like a relationship to her. I'm constantly ragging her about why should there be any blocks or rules or walls up. Just let the feelings come and don't block anything. What she's really trying to tell you, dude, is slow the fuck down. Slow your roll, brother. She also says I sneak by her walls as well. Well, it's better than sneaking one past the goalie. She says she doesn't want to be serious, yet she specifically said a few weeks ago that I don't call and or text her often enough, and that I'm great and funny when we get together, but when apart I act like a person that's not interested, and she doesn't like it. Call her once per week. At the end of the day, she's still seeing you. He says, as you say, the phone is for making dates, so I haven't been calling, but since she said that, I've been calling or texting her once a day to say hi. Too fucking much, dude. I'd say it's about 50-50. That's why she's not in love with you. It's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Maybe text her every couple of days. Hey, was just thinking about you. Had a great time the other night. Look forward to seeing you again soon. When are you free to get together? And things seem to be going smooth. Well, you're deluding yourself a little bit, bro. But then quite often when we hang out, she'll bring up about going too fast and recently asked if I'd be jealous if she went out with another guy. Hello? She's pushing you away now. See that BS? You're texting too much. You're pursuing too much. What the fuck exactly? Where is this girl's head at? What am I doing wrong? Well, I just went through that. It's so confusing, not to me, because she shows 8 to 9% interest when we're together. You're overrating her attraction level for you. I'd say her attraction level is probably in the 5 or 6 range, dude. Touching and holding my arm, just being close, great sex, attentive, etc. The problem is you're texting her and you're contacting her too much in between your dates. Read the book. You need to slow it down. She's telling you, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Oh, by the way, would you have a problem if I went out with other guys? That should tell you everything you need to know, dude. So let's get into the third email. This guy says, hey, Corey, I have been enlightened beyond belief by finding you and your YouTube videos. Thank you so much for what you do. You're welcome. I have a situation where I need some urgent advice because I have fucked up badly and would really like to pursue a certain woman. You shouldn't pursue a woman. You should let her come to you at her own pace. And you set 1 date per week by calling her once a week. And then once she starts reaching out to you in between those dates, you use it as an opportunity to set the next date, not to become her therapist by chit-chatting and sending 100,000 texts back and forth. I'm 52, and 3 months ago, I got out of a crap marriage which went on for far too many years, and I now live alone. Most people that are watching this video, myself included, have at one time or another stayed in a relationship long after they knew they should have ended it. After a month, I went onto a dating site and ended up meeting a really attractive black gal at the start of October on a Saturday. The first date went well, but I can see that I divulged too much of my baggage. If it ain't positive, keep it to yourself. And we started texting, and again, I was too responsive to the text. You're like hanging on every word. I was reading a book the other day, and it's like a monkey at the zoo that constantly masturbates and throws its feces at the people in the zoo. That's what a guy. That's a great fucking analogy. That's what guys do when they like a girl. They're like masturbating constantly and throwing their feces at her, trying to get her attention. Apart from physical attraction and liking her personality, etc., she was a singer too, and as my hobby is guitar and songwriting, this is a big plus for me. Slow your roll, dude. Slow it down. You're going way too fast. We met up again the next Tuesday, and again it went well, and tactile during, and hugs and proper kisses at the end. Further mutually complimentary texts followed daily. You should be making dates, dude. Then on the Friday, I got a text from her saying what a nice guy I was. But though on the site she'd said that she was looking for a relationship, she wasn't and would only hurt me, and suggested I get on with finding someone else. In other words, what she's saying to you is, I can tell you're really into me, but I'm just not that into you yet, dude. And if we keep going out, I'm obviously going to get tired of your bullshit, because I'm already getting tired of it. I'm going to probably blow you off and dump you and break your heart. So it would be best for you if you got some other girls to date. It's not that she lied about wanting a relationship. It's that you're trying to rush her into one because you think there's some kind of time limit, or like it's like some kind of game show, like where you're going to get voted off the island or something if you don't get her to marry you in 3 dates. This knocked me completely sideways, and I managed to get her on the phone, and she said she would consider coming around for food to my place on Sunday. In other words, you blew up her phone. It was like, oh my God, red alert, oh my God, oh please don't dump me, please, please. Remember, it's like the monkey throwing feces and his love juice at the people coming by. She then sent a text saying that she couldn't. Big shock there. I responded correctly, saying that no problem, maybe another time. I then left it for about 5 days, correctly he says, and whizzed her a text asking what she was up to. This produced a more positive text, and we ended up talking the next week, and I told her that I certainly was not looking for a relationship, having just got myself single again, and we agreed to meet the next Tuesday. This went great, lots of canoodling, touching, and proper kisses and hugs at the end. We basically agreed to be friends with benefits, not exclusive. Daily text continued, very friendly, literally with sexual innuendo and the anticipation of great sex, but up to gale force within me. She was to come around to my place on Sunday for food, but canceled. She must really like you. Due to forgetting about her brother borrowing her car for some other bullshit. Yeah, it's definitely a bullshit excuse. You can see you're pursuing too much and make her feel uncomfortable to the point where she's just blowing you off because there's no tension. To her, there's no consequences. That's why when you're in this situation, you just back off and you don't do anything and you let her come to you. When she reaches out, assume that she realized, oh, wait a minute, what happened to that guy that was all over me? And then you make a date. He says, anyway, as she said, she did not like to disappoint people, and we agreed to meet on the next Tuesday, and she would also come the following Tuesday. Oh, now you're making multiple dates in the future. Like, dude, you're way too needy here. I was away rehearsing the weekend, but before there was still daily texting. Her last text on the Saturday said she was looking forward to seeing me on Tuesday. This was last week. Since then, I have heard absolutely nothing from her, and I'm afraid that I was texting like a lunatic, trying to call, but I suspect that she just may have cut my calls. At first, I felt like a lovesick teenager all over again. Utterly bereft. The stomach aching is still there, but lessening. I've had another couple of dates, but I do not want to give up on this woman, and it was about last Wednesday, last week, when I started reading your book. What a needy twat I have been, and I have clearly broken all the rules in the book. I have not allowed the cat to get on her with her stuff and wonder about me, as I have been in her face constantly. There you go. At least you're realizing this. While I've really fucked up and blamed myself, I also think it's out of order for her to abruptly end communication, and this does seem out of character from what I know of her. No, it just means that she lost interest and perceived you as not to be what she was looking for. There has to be tension. There has to be mutual respect. And when you don't respect yourself to the point where you just constantly blow up her phone and chase after her and throw your jizz and your feces at her like the monkey in the zoo does, of course she's going to run away from that shit. It would have been much easier to deal with if she had called me or texted me and said anything, just so I was left hanging instead. So I'd really welcome your advice on what to do to try to entice her back into communication. Do nothing. Silence is one of the most powerful things. One of the quickest ways to get somebody else's attention is to remove yours. She's still on a dating site and has added a hot new picture, and I've sent her a couple of friendly messages on the site. Ah, he says, and she will know that I have viewed her. You're still acting too needy. I can send copies of the text exchanges with her name blanked out if this helps. It's quite embarrassing when I see how many rules I broke. My inclination from having read half of your book is just to forget about it for a couple of weeks and then to give her a call. What do you think? First met her, well, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't reach out to her anymore. She blew you off, dude. And you keep coming back, just communicates you have no self-respect. If you have no self-respect, she's not going to give you any. And if a woman doesn't respect you, she'll never fall for you. I first met her on the 12th of October. In just over a month, I feel like I have been through this spin cycle of a washing machine 15 times and then dragged through hedges backwards. It's a good analogy. My advice, move on. If you ever hear from her again in the future, hey, great to hear from you. I'd love to see you when you're free to get together. Make a date. Hang out, have fun, and hook up, and stop focusing on the relationship and locking her down to a commitment. That's why she amps great on your ass. So let's get to the fourth and final email. This guy says, hey coach, after reading your book and watching all of your YouTube videos, I've learned a lot. I love it, and I know I will reread and rewatch most of them. I do have a question though. I'm currently studying applied psychology at a university in the Netherlands, and I got involved with a girl at the start of the semester, and things have been hitting it off really good. I asked her to be my girlfriend after 2.5 months. Wrong. That is the woman's department. And if she hasn't asked you to be her boyfriend after 2.5 months, then it means she ain't head over heels in love with you, dude. Which she said she thought it was too fast. See? After a lot of mistakes I made due to being needy, I pushed her away, and she's now seeing another classmate. She still invites me over, but we never have sex anymore and just chill out and talk, which is not the thing I want. Stop calling, stop texting, stop pursuing, because you running to be her therapist at her place and not having anything physical with her at this point is just communicating that you're acquiescing to basically being friends with no benefits. So I wouldn't do anything. Wait to hear from her. When you hear from her, invite her over to your place to hang out, have fun, and hook up like you used to do. And if she doesn't want to do that, if she tries to get you to change the plans and come over to her place instead, just say, you know, I'm feeling really lazy this week. It's just been a hell of a week, and I'm just in the mood to hang. So if you're not down with coming over to my place and hanging, then give me a call in a couple of weeks, and you know, when things settle down, and you know, maybe I'll be down for coming over to your place again, or meeting you out, whatever it is that she says she wants you to do. You got to stand up for yourself. That's how you reestablish the balance. It's almost like a teeter-totter. Like if you notice, like if there's an exact balance, the teeter-totter's kind of level, but if you lean forward, like in her direction, she falls to the ground and you lean forward. Whereas if you lean back and she leans forward, then the power all flips to your side. It's a great analogy I read in a book I read recently. The weird thing, in my opinion, is when we're together, everything is fine, but when I'm at school, she just completely blocks me off. I now learned from your books that texting is only good for picking her up and making dates. Does this also apply to real-life communication? Yep, just make dates. That's it. There's no reason to reach out. I'm trying to contact her in real life at school in a casual way, but each time I do, she gives short answers, which is a complete opposite of how she responds when we're together and alone. Stop texting her. Stop pursuing her. You got friend zone, and yet you keep calling her and you keep pursuing her, and now you become the gay male girlfriend. I know you don't like that because obviously you reached out to me to answer your email. He says, I kind of have the feeling of completely shutting it down because it does piss me off when she does this and rejection comes around the corner, and I can't seem to be the cocky comedy like David D'Angelo says, which I used to be. Could you give me any tips? Yeah, stop pursuing her, stop calling her, stop texting her. Wait for her to reach out to you, and then when she does, make a date at your place to hang out and have fun and hook up. Other than that, don't ever call or text her again. Like I said earlier, the quickest way to regain someone's attention is to remove your attention. That is definitely something to think about. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone or Skype session or email coaching, and you can do that by going to my website, click the products tab at the top of any page of my website and just follow the instructions for booking whatever option you would like in order to get in contact with me. And I will talk to you soon.